fuck it, I'm gonna start it how I want it. Bitch, it's my 21st birthday soon. I'm turning 21. I'm finally turning the age I always lied about. It's like a milestone period, okay? But honestly, I've been sitting and reflecting on all the things that I've kind of been through in my life and things that have shaped me to be the person that I am today. So crazy to me how different of a person I was back then compared to the person that I am now. And I think it's amazing because I've made so much growth in my journey, not just of spirituality, but of life in general, because I think that life is just one big spiritual journey anyway. It's very surreal to me how all of this time can pass and all of these things can happen to us, and then one day we wake up and we realize we're completely different than who we were a month ago, 2 years ago, 5 years ago, but 21 years ago. Jesus Christ, I've been here forever. It feels like I've been here forever. My name is Janessa-Belle. If you are new here, and if you are not new, then welcome back to my channel where we talk about self-evolution, growth, how to use like manifestation tools in order to get you the life that you want, or bridging that gap between where you are and where you want to be. Hello. This year I am turning 21. Not just this year, bitch. In a few days. I can wholeheartedly say I have never been more grateful. I have never been in a better place in my life ever so far, and it only seems to be getting better. And I'm not saying this to like boast about the things that are going good for me, because I obviously, like, I'm a human. I have issues as well. I have things that I go through and that I struggle with very silently a lot of the times. I can say that I have been through so much in my life to reach this point, and I kind of just wanted to make this video so that not only my audience can get to know me like a little bit better personally, so I'm not just like talking about things on how to improve yourself. I'm also making it for people that are kind of struggling maybe with suicidal thoughts or tendencies, or have very little hope for their life because they feel like nothing is ever going to work out for them. This is who I'm making that video for. This is hello, can I talk today? I've been having trouble, bitch. I've been struggling. Then that is the, oh my god, I need my vape. I'm stressed. My journey, no matter what I've been through, the most important thing that I have learned is that we all have this ability to rewrite our own stories. We don't have to follow the stigma that everybody else puts us in. I remember being in elementary school and all my friends were Hispanic, or they were white, or they were black. Like they weren't mixed. Like, I didn't know anybody else that had a white mom and a black dad like I did. I never fit in anywhere the way that other people fit in places. And for a while, I even remember this. Okay, let me tell this story because this is so important. I remember this one time I was in I had to be in kindergarten. I remember being in kindergarten and I had two different friend groups. It was literally like a movie, bitch. I'm not even joking. This is how I remember it. There was one group of people that were like, they were super smart, they were super independent, like with each other, they were super nerdy, like they always got the answers in class and da-da-da-da-da. And then there were this other group of people, and they were the more popular girls. They were the ones that running the fucking playground outside, bitch. Okay, so I was in between those two friend groups. Here I was, little me. And I remember one day when we were at recess, the more nerdy friend group wanted to play with me, and then the other group so these two groups that were very different people wanted to hang out with me. And I remember saying, like, I don't want to choose. I want to hang out with both. Like, why can't we all hang out together? Like, I genuinely didn't understand that. So I ended up going with the more like popular kids and stuff like that, because I thought, like, oh my gosh, I don't know, they just seemed cool to me, you know what I mean? And like I said, I didn't feel like I felt fit. I didn't feel like I fit in. I didn't feel like I fit in anywhere. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. So I think for a long time, all the way up until I was in like 10th grade of high school, like right before the pandemic hit, basically, is when I tried so hard to be somebody that I wasn't. I wanted to fit in. I wanted to feel like I had a group of people, and all the way up into middle school, that's the same kind of people that I hung around with. And then into high school, same thing. It's weird because I always got along with everyone, But it was like when it came to picking a side, I was gonna be on my people's side, the people that I'm with, hanging out with all the time, every day. You know what I mean? But I would befriend all different types of people. I loved everybody, unless you were like mean and rude and disgusting and a nasty, pervy bitch. Then I didn't like you, and I probably still don't like you to this day. Okay? It took me a while to realize who I actually am and start stepping into that instead of being what everybody else was wanting me to be or what I thought I had to be in order to be liked by people. I actually didn't think I would even make it to my 18th birthday most days. Like, so once I started going through that, I really didn't care about anything. Like, I genuinely, a lot of the days I didn't even want to be here. I didn't want to wake up in the morning. I didn't want to get up. I didn't want to go to school. I didn't care about seeing my friends. Like, I was genuinely depressed, and it was the worst time I've went through in my life. Seriously. Now I'm turning 21 and I'm doing things that I only dreamed of doing. I was like, I'm never going to be able to accomplish, never going to be able to do that. I'm never going to start a YouTube channel. I'm never going to be able to travel. I'm going to be stuck in this house forever. Like, these are the things that I used to think when I was younger. 21, I'm actually like becoming a true adult, and there are things that have been happening recently within just this year that I never thought would happen, ever. Like, I wanted it to happen, but I was like, yeah, it's never gonna happen to me. I'm never gonna. From that experience, that's what taught me, like, okay, my perspective has a big play and a big role in the way that I'm living my life. The people that I was hanging out with at the time, we were all kind of lost. Does that make sense? So I feel like that's why we all bonded so well together, because we were all lost. I bonded with them because I had been through things that they had been through, and there's nothing wrong. Like, you should find people that understand your pain and understand your trauma, but at the same time, if that's what you guys like continue on doing, you know what I mean, then that's just it's not gonna be good in the long run. But that, like I said, anyway, I truly have never been more grateful for the position that I'm in right now. I have healthy relationships with my close, like the family that matters to me most. I have really good relationships with them, and I have really good connections with them. I have good friends. I have a lovely relationship, which y'all might meet him soon. I don't know though. I'm a little scared. But I feel like when people are on the outside looking in, and people have even told me this, they're like, you're so lucky. You're so lucky. How'd you get so lucky? And I'm like, it's not luck. I worked so hard to get to where I am at today. Not only mentally, not only spiritually, but physically, emotionally, financially. All of that. Like, I worked so hard on myself, and I still do every day. I'm a work in progress. I don't think I'm at where I want to be at. I'm nowhere close. And looking back into 2020, like, I didn't think I would be where I am today. I really didn't. Like, I had hope, but I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna do this. Very scared and very timid. It's going better than I ever expected it to go. But I'm not just lucky. Like, I am lucky, trust me. But I put lots of hours into myself. I put lots of work into myself. I put a lot of criticism into myself to get me to where I am today. It's so easy to stay stuck in the patterns that only you know. Does that make any sense? But it is hard to get out of your own way, to get out of your comfortability zone, or to envision yourself in a better place than you are now and actually actively go and pursue that. Not knowing who I was and not understanding how powerful I truly am when I am being myself. And it took me, like I said, it took me quite a while to get comfortable with myself. And I got comfortable with the fact that I'm not like everybody else, and I'm not gonna fit in with everybody else. I became very comfortable with that. And the more comfortable with that I became, the more people started coming to me. Some of the obstacles that I personally faced, just like in childhood and even in my teenage years, was like finding my identity. Obviously, I didn't know who I was. I didn't know who I was supposed to be. I didn't even know who I wanted to be. I just was. I was what everybody else was at that point in time. I struggled with sharing my feelings and sharing my emotions unless it was in like a negative way. So for a long time, I held a lot of things in, and I didn't express myself until I got to that boiling point where it's like, okay, I can't take it anymore. I'm gonna like rage, literally. I miss the rage, bitch. I just became very angry at the world. I hated the world for so long. And it was just because I felt like, and there were experiences that I really don't want to share on here yet, because it's uncomfortable just for like even me to talk about out loud. So I won't, but for the most part, I will say, like, there were people that I had around me that I thought were my people, and I treated them like they were my people. Times where I struggled with like trusting people, like it came to a point where I isolated myself. That's when everything clicked. Like, I'm like, okay, listen, I love y'all, but I really don't need this. And that also, like, those experiences of other people like betraying me or hurting me or doing really cruel, nasty, unspeakable things to me, that taught me to not be so quick to trust other people, to call other people my friend. And that was the lesson for me, because the type of person I am, I'm very giving, and sometimes almost to a fault, and I always want to see the good in people, and I'm like Miss La La Land for real, and I had to snap out of it real quick. And that taught me like how to have my own backbone and how to speak up for myself. And when people, you know what I mean. Very grateful for every single experience I've had, whether that's negative or positive. Now, there has been so many positive experiences I've had in my life. I've been granted a lot, I believe, from like the universe and my angels and just me manifesting things in general. Like, I'm learning my own power, and I'm so grateful to actually still be alive to do that, because if I had taken my life when I wanted to take my life, I wouldn't have experienced any of this. Once I went through all of that though, it genuinely taught me, just wait, like, you're gonna die one day anyway. You don't have to bring it upon yourself. And okay, because it's so worth it, because you don't know, tomorrow you could literally like win the lottery, or you could go to work and somebody gets you something, a gift or something, and it makes your day, or like, there's just so many things that can happen, and you will never know what can happen unless you just live your life. Being grateful for the things that you already do have, and then growing from that, is something that also helped me. Like, not while I was depressed. I didn't think about shit. I was like, fuck this, fuck the world, da 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 da. But what got me out of my depression was learning about myself, learning why I feel this way, and learning that feeling that way is valid. It's more than valid for the things that I went through, to feel the way I felt, to feel hurt, to feel betrayed, to feel alone. Like, it was normal. Like, anybody would feel that way if they went through the things that I went through. So I had to be more easy on myself, because I was always, like, I'm always hard on myself anyway. But I was always like, what am I gonna do in my life? I'm never gonna amount to anything. I'm not even gonna graduate high school. I'm not even gonna make it to graduation. And I made it, and I did it every day. I did what I had to do, and I graduated. And now I'm turning 21, and my life is just taking off. That was kind of heavy, I'm sorry. I had to. The power of gratitude and the power of self-acceptance is what got me out of that really big depression funk, because I still have depression. Like, things happen that trigger me sometimes. I've just learned how to like talk myself down off that ledge before I spiral, if that makes any sense. Because when I get sad or when I get depressed, once one negative thought starts coming, it snowballs and it literally spirals out of control. And now it's been 2 hours and I'm sitting in the same spot I've been sitting in, and I'm just thinking and crying and thinking and crying. And I learned a lot of fucking psychology. Oh my God. I sat for hours every day. I have notebooks full of notes that I actually took from lectures, and that was only because I refused to go to therapy. Like, I was like, I'm not gonna pay somebody to fucking listen to me. Like, no, I'm not doing that. And that was just my mentality at the time. Now that I look back, I think that I could still benefit from therapy today, because I still have shit that I want to fix. But I put myself through rigorous hours of reading and watching lectures about psychology and why humans are the way they are, and that really opened up the doors for me to understand myself and why I feel the way I do, why I acted the way I did, because I wasn't perfect either. I did some things that I am also not proud of. But I learned through all of these, like, teaching myself these things and learning that it's okay to fuck up and it's okay to be human. As long as you're healthy, as long as you're honest, as long as you're happy and successful, nothing else matters. Seriously, I started putting peace as my priority, and everything else fell from there. That is what saved me. Learning about myself and being grateful for the things. Like, once I started getting out of my funk, I then got more grateful for the things that I have and the things that I had growing up. About spirituality, which is a whole nother thing. I know some people don't really like to hear about it, but spirituality opened my mind up. So did witchcraft, into learning more about myself and learning more about my nature. My relationship with God also wasn't that good. I didn't believe in anything because I'm like, look at the world around us. There's no way there's a God if all these things are happening. But I also didn't fully understand the concept of God at the time. Until the last little bit of this video, I want to say that we can all change our circumstances. We all have this ability to change our circumstances for ourselves, to change our mind, to change our perspective. And this is literally what my whole channel is based about, because this is how I changed my life around, got it into a better place. Because listen, me and my mom used to not get along very well. When I was a teenager, I was a bitch, she was too. We both butted heads. She's a Scorpio, November 15th. I'm a Scorpio, November 12th. Bitch. Now that I'm older, over time, we built a better relationship with each other. The more that I started learning about myself, the more empathy I had for her, because I understood like her actions and why she took them, and certain things that I didn't understand before. Change our circumstances and change our relationships if we really want to, and change whatever it is that you want to change. You have the ability to do so. And that's the main thing of this whole video. It's like, I changed my circumstances. I'm in a much better place in every single sector of my life, but it's because I worked on it. And guys, this, like I said, I started my spiritual journey, which is when I kind of got out of my depression in the end of 2019. So ever since then, it's been 4 years, almost 5 years. So this isn't something that happened overnight. It isn't something that I just, oh, I saw this on TikTok, so I'm gonna look it up and then I'm gonna try and do witchcraft. No, I sat there for hours and researched tarot cards and divination and color symbolism and number symbolism. Like, I did the damn work, okay? It kind of propelled me into expanding my awareness and perspective for the planet that we live on, so that I can achieve more things than I ever thought that I could. Manifestation is real, and it's prominent if you know how to use it correctly and you know how to ask for the right things. Does that make any sense? Also, being better is hard, okay? Improving yourself is hard. Not feeding into your lack mindset is hard. Change, no one said it was gonna be easy. It's easy to stay stuck. You can stay stuck if you want, it'll be easy. But in the long run, you're gonna regret it. So that's experience things that teach me more about what life actually has to offer, instead of like being in this little box that everybody else put me in. Hard. It's hard because nobody tells you the right way to do it. You know, you just do it. No matter where your starting point, I don't care if you're 15 or if you're 50. I don't care. But bettering yourself and questioning your belief and learning about other people and why they are the way they are is going to open up your mind. It truly is. And having empathy for other people and understanding like, okay, you're acting this way because of that, is going to help a lot. Inner and outer peace are always going to be possible for you to achieve, always, no matter what. You could be in the worst possible situation, and if your mentality is okay, then I feel like the situation will be okay. And even if it doesn't turn out okay, you're okay. You know what I mean? I don't know. I sound like a fucking hippie, but that's how I view life at this point. I can't control a lot of the shit that I wish I could control, and since I can't control it, I don't even bother thinking about it. Okay? It's very peaceful to live that way. Favorite lessons, this is it, and then I'm wrapping it up. So energy is real, okay? Energy is real. Protect it by following your heart and what you truly think is right and wrong. Morally, okay? Energy vampires are real, bitch, okay? You need to watch who you hang out with and who you tell your shit to. Just saying. Just be mindful. Vibe attracts tribe. So if you do feel alone, I just want you to know that like when I was at that point in my life, I was very closed off. Like I intentionally closed myself off from people because, number one, I felt like I said, I had been betrayed. People had thrown things in my face. I didn't feel like anybody truly even cared to hear what I had to say, because I feel like they viewed me in one way, so I didn't even bother. Like, I isolated myself from everyone emotionally, and I was very cold, and it pushed a lot of good people away. I will say that. I missed out on having some cool friends because of the way that I was, if that makes any sense. So try and be try and be a little more open, because I feel like people who are depressed and closed off, a lot of them are very good-hearted people. You know what I mean? And they just need somebody to listen to them or somebody to talk to about their issues, so they don't feel like, oh my gosh, I'm going through this alone and nobody cares about me. Because that's literally the worst feeling ever, is feeling like nobody cares about you, or that nobody understands you, or that nobody will, you know what I mean? Like it sucks to feel that way. And I don't think anybody ever deserves to feel that, because it sucks. It's very depleting. It's very draining. It's very sad. Reach out to people. Shit, reach out to me if you don't, you know what I mean? Like, just try, okay? Because your vibe will attract your tribe, okay? So put out good energy to people when you see them on the street or when you're interacting. Don't be negative. Don't be rude. Like, come on, you know? Life's meant to be made by you. You give meaning to life and use that to your advantage. So, for example, this is one of my favorites. If you are having an issue with something, or if you are focusing a lot of your energy on something that does not make you feel good, then don't focus your energy on that anymore. And easier said than done. Not every situation is going to be the same. You get the point of what I'm saying though, right? Where your focus goes, your energy is going to flow. So flow it in the direction of things that you want to grow, because that's what's going to happen. It will grow. This one is, success is a mindset before it is a reality. So I don't want to hear nothing. I don't want to hear shit. I'll say it again though. Success is a mentality and a mindset before it is a reality. That's all. If you don't believe you can do it, then you're not going to do it. Question your beliefs and follow your heart. Whatever you've been told your entire life, I want you to question that. Whatever you think right now, I want you to question that too. Question everything. Be curious about everything, because you know what I love about kids is that they're so curious about life. Like, everything they see, they're like, oh my God, look at that. Look at the color of that notebook. Look at the color of those trees outside. Like, they find wonder and beauty in everything. And that's how I try to keep myself, because it makes me happy. And I like to be happy. I don't know, but I'm turning 21 and I just wanted to reflect a little bit on you guys and give you guys a little bit of motivational talk, because I needed it when I was younger. And even, like, I don't know, I feel like even if I was older, I would still need the advice that I just gave you. Not bad advice. It's accurate, you know. My lovelies, this video is like 40 minutes long. It's 5 o'clock. I want to go play my game and then I gotta get ready. So I love you.